Today's topic, anger and anger management. Many of us gets angry, though the degree varies. Some of us gets very angry, some of us gets moderately angry, and some of us gets less angry. And some of us have mastered the art of controlling the anger. Anger is the most powerful but most misunderstood human emotions. It can destroy relationship, cloud judgment, and makes us regret in future. But anger in itself just another primitive emotions in our brain. It works like a warning system, a red dot alert which tells us that there is a high priority situation, something have went wrong, and you must put all your focus attention to it on immediate basis. Put aside all your other worries or everything, focus on it right now. Now, anger has two sides. One is the anger itself and the other is the manifestation of the anger. Let me rephrase. That is how anger generates, how anger is produced. And another one, how anger is released or showed or manifested, or how anger can be controlled or managed. Now, let's talk about the first part, about the anger, how anger generates or how anger is produced or begets. It's completely a biological phenomenon. It happens inside our mind and body, inside our brain and body. How? Brain generates anger. Based on what? Based on trigger points. Something triggers. What are those triggers? There are two types of triggers. One is internal. Second one is external. The external triggers are like someone cut you off in the road, someone cut you off in the queue, someone shouted at you, someone abused you, someone misbehaved with you, some injustice happened. And internal is something which you recollect that okay, some incident, some event, something happened to you. Now these triggers flows via your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind filters and adds colors to it. Like say in your childhood, your teachers, whenever they used to criticize you, after that your parents used to scold you severely. So whenever you have now a grown-up person, but still whenever someone criticizing you, your brain is automatically taking it as a threat and preparing yourself, thinking that the severe scolding is coming afterwards. So that's what subconscious mind filtering and adding color to it. And then these signals, when it reaches to the brain, it reaches to the emotional part of the brain that is known as amygdala. What amygdala does? It perceives those signals as a threat, puts the brain into primitive survival mode. It puts the brain into flight and fight mode, that is a default mode, and cuts off the logical, the other hub of the brain, which is known as prefrontal cortex, which is known for is logical decision making, good decision making based on all data points. It shuts it off and amygdala takes over. It makes you react rather than response. The reaction that is not completely controlled by your main part of the brain, but it's more on a instinct basis. Amygdala tells the adrenal glands to release hormones. There are two hormones it's been released. One is adrenaline, the another one is cortisol. That spikes your heart rate, dilates your pupils, your breathing gets faster, your muscle gets tightened, your jaws gets clenched, and you prepare for the fight. Now the question is, how can we control this? Because under the control of anger, as we react, many a times when the anger subdues, we find ourselves completely different person. We feel that a moment ago when we are under the control of anger, it was some other person who told something irrational thing which doesn't make sense, or which you as a person wouldn't have done. And that's because your logical part was completely under arrest, and your instinct part, the default mode part or the survival part was taking all the actions. Now how we can control those? We can control those using emotional intelligence, using practicing emotional intelligence. Now, famous author Daniel Goleman in his famous emotional intelligence book told about 4 pillars of emotional intelligence. One is self-awareness, second is self-management, third is empathy, and fourth is social skill. Now, regarding self-awareness, what you can do, you can list down which are the trigger points triggers your anger. Like someone cutting you off the road or someone abusing you. Start with 5 to 10 points. Later you can increase. Then whenever you are in that situation, observe yourself. Like say you are driving a car, someone cuts you off. You will see that probably your jaws are getting clenched, your heart rate spiked, you are tightly holding the screen and the steering. All those are signs of anger. When you are in that situation, there comes the second point, the self-management. Try to control yourself. Remember, these are hormonal activity. This lasts for 90 seconds to 2 minutes. That's it. And anger feeds on speed. So if you cut the speed, anger will die down. So relax. Take a pause for 3, 4, 5 minutes. You can practice box breathing. Box breathing is a technique like you will inhale for 4 seconds, you will hold that breath for 4 seconds and exhale for 4 seconds. Probably you can, if you are in, you can start with 1 or 2 seconds. 4 seconds could be very a lot for beginner. So you will see that your the moment you will practice box breathing, your heart rate will slow down. As a result, blood pumping will slow down, your muscles will be relaxed, and you will feel more composed, and gradually you will see your prefrontal cortex will start taking charge, and it will help you make conscious decision. So that is about self-awareness. The third point is empathy. Try to put yourself at the shoe of the other people. Probably it happened, the person who cuts you off, he has really some emergency at home. Probably he has some emergency at home or at office or somewhere else. So when you understand from his perspective, you will be seeing that your anger is not escalating. The fourth point is socializing. Like if we socialize, the more we will socialize, we will understand the different people's perspective, the cultural standpoints, everything. Like in my city, many a times, many a driver cuts each other off. People don't mind. Why? Because it's very common over here. But I have seen many new people who comes from other cities, they take it as an offense. Because when I try to cut them off, they will honk me hard because they are not accustomed to this culture. But when they spend a few weeks or months, when they understand the culture, they don't take it as an offense, because then they understand that okay, I can cut off other people, they will also cut off me, and that's fine. So point is, the more you socialize, you will understand different perspective, and you will get the logic, and probably you will not get anger out of some any situations. You will be able to handle situations more peacefully. So to wrap up, remember, anger is a biological phenomenon. It gets triggered by internal or external triggers. List down the triggers, and whenever these trigger situations are coming, practice box breathing technique, observe yourself, and then practice empathy. Also practice socializing. These are all will help you control your anger. Anger is a primitive technique in our brain. Through practice, patience, we can control it. It's not a bad thing, but the manifestation of it could be controlled using practice and patience.